Hey guys, Joe here from churchfacebookads.com, and I'm here with Finn Johnson, correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. So we were connecting in one of the, I think it was digital, like online with the church or something like that, one of those Facebook groups. It's hard, there's so many, I get lost. But he was asking questions about looking at social media metrics, and I think like YouTube and Facebook and everything, and what's a good tool, because you said Sprout Social is getting kind of pricey. And I think Supermetrics has been a great tool, but I'll kind of let him intro himself, and then we'll go from there on seeing what would work well for your church.
Yeah, so my name's Finn. So I'm over in the UK, as you can probably hear from my accent. So I work for a church here in the UK in east of England. I also work with an agency that works exclusively with churches. And so kind of my time most days of the week is thinking kind of church, social media, digital, websites, trying to help churches to think digitally and to reach people using the power of the social media. And so one of the questions that kind of I have personally, but also come up with a lot, is around analytics, which is why I asked the question really. I think my frustration would be that the different platforms natively have analytics and insights built in, but they differ hugely, even within companies that are owned. So Instagram, Facebook, essentially the same company, but the difference in metrics you get out of them are wildly varying. So I just put out there, is there some way in which is there a third-party bit of software where you can pull out all the information you need, all the analytics and insights you need into one format so that you can compare, so for me, like, engagement is key, and that's always what I'm trying to encourage people to look at, is, pushing that engagement, and by doing that, the likelihood is you're going to see an increase in reach. That's kind of my philosophy with it.
Yep.
So as with all these things, for me, it's like, I want to know whether I'm winning or not. I want to dig into those facts to see, okay, is the energy, the effort, the money, the time that I'm putting into this actually paying off? And that's what I'm always trying to speak to churches about, so picking the metric and kind of, running with that and cataloging that over time for me is hugely important to know, like, hey, I spent an extra 5 hours this week on this, let's say Instagram. I want to see the results of that and see whether that actually made a difference. And so that's why for me, like, trying to get that analytics into one kind of spreadsheet or one format or one website or dashboard or something to be able to compare that across time as well is hugely important, which is why I kind of reached out with the question. And Joe, very kindly, you said you might have some insight on that. So I'd love to kind of talk about that if possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and so just to kind of touch on what you said there, Finn, what he's talking about is attribution. And just so we know now, there will never be the same attribution across channels. So a great example, and coming from the paid ad side, like what we see this a lot is in Google Analytics and Google Ads and Facebook ads. So there's attribution models. So Facebook uses a lot by default a 28-day view, and they do view through conversions, and then Google uses last click. What that means is if somebody sees an ad or doesn't even see the ad, but it's just scrolling super fast through their feed, it's going to be counted as a conversion that you saw my ad on Facebook ads. And then but then say somebody never even imagines that the ad, never even realized that the ad was there, and then 2 days later goes to Google and types in that product name in the search and then clicks on that ad, Google's going to get credit for the ad, and Facebook's going to get credit for the ad. So when you go and you look in your metrics, you're going to see two purchases, but really it's only one customer. So that's where like that's just for Facebook ads versus Google ads. And it only gets more complicated as you go into looking at social media metrics. And if you report those social media metrics from like even website visits from Google Analytics versus the tool. And then if you look at the tool, Sprout Social versus what's actually in Instagram Insights, those are going to be different. So what we want to do here is we want to establish one source of truth. When I was at Elevation leading the paid social teams, just for quick context, it was like Pastor Stevens, Elevation Church, Elevation Worship, the 20 campuses, and then outreach as well. And basically we looked at like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. And we used what's called Data Studio. So we established our one source of truth as using this tool that's called Supermetrics. So I'm going to Try to go pro and eCam real quick and do a quick screen share. So Supermetrics is basically this tool right here. This tool there's different pricing. So you can do the Data Studio one for $39 a month. There's a little bit more of a learning curve there, which is why they make Google Sheets $99 a month, because it's super easy to use. I recommend Google Sheets version of this. I've been using this for like the last year. I manage about 20 clients, and they're spending like $500,000 across of them. And I'm able to, and I'm going to show you even the doc I use, and just how we look at those numbers and how you can adopt that for what you're doing, and how you can basically templatize it. So there's two plans. Basically, I would go with the $99 a month plan. What I'm able to do there is it doesn't come with as many refreshes, but you can manually refresh each morning. You can do an overall refresh. What I also used to do as well was you can schedule these to do a daily refresh, like when I did have this one, and then you can have it emailed to yourself and or your clients. So I would do that for all my clients, and they would get a report every Monday morning with updated metrics. So that's an amazing way to keep track of everything, and you set it up once and then you kind of just automate it from there. Also a great way to manage people with that as well, because then you can kind of see where's everybody's numbers and all of that. And then on a weekly basis, I would just say, okay, this one's green, red, or yellow, and then I'm going to hop in there and work on that account because it needs my attention now. So for this one, I would recommend $99 month plan. You'll be good to go, and you'll be able to do everything I'm going to kind of walk you through in here. And obviously this is in a different context because it's for paid ads, but you can use the same thing for social media engagements, and I'll show you how. So inside of what it's going to look like is inside of your spreadsheet here. It's basically an add-on. An add-on, Supermetrics. You launch the sidebar, boom, it launches it here. I'll show you like for an account how it's set up, and then this template here that I've built out will show you how you can look at things. I have it on a monthly basis. When I was at the church, we'd actually look at it on a week over week basis, which would do Monday. We would do Monday through Sunday. That gives you time for, weekends. Obviously, there's peaks on Sundays and all of that stuff. And I'd recommend breaking it out that way. So let's say, for example, this client here. You can go to add-ons here, and we just refresh active sheet. So if we look right here, we've spent. Go ahead.
I can't see I can't see the screen that you're sharing. I don't think.
Oh,
just see you.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Well, let me share. I'm going to share my screen because he's on Skype. I'm going to share my screen over there on Skype. But just know the recording. You guys are seeing everything. Let me update that real quick. And thank you for stopping me, by the way. Let's see.
I didn't want you to go too far down the line. I was like, what? Perfect.
Okay, there you go. You should be good now, right?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. So I was showing you plans here. You want to go $99 a month. That's be your best bet. And then here is the template that I have set up. So I essentially set up a template that's blank. I recommend doing like a monthly to start. And then if you want to get more granular on the weekly, you can. But what's amazing about this is you can go retroactively too. So you can just set it up for this year, and then you enter the year. And I'm going to show you what one looks like when it's live. And I'll show you right now, it just populate everything. So as soon as I sign on a client, I set this up, fire up all the numbers. I can see, in 5 minutes, what we've been doing month over month, and I can start setting benchmarks and objectives for next month. So
is this a template you've created?
It's a template I've built. So you would just build one for your clients and numbers that you know matters to churches. And then and I use it for paid, but you could use it for organic. And I used to use it for organic at Elevation, and we'd look at YouTube, everything in here. First off, it's super easy to do, like you're about to see. But second of all, then the most important thing is one source of truth for everything. So we're looking at all the numbers from the same source. And that's what we landed on was most important, because I would manually pull things. I would type stuff up. I'd screenshot my insights on Instagram. It would just be bad. So if you go in here, like you can see it's 8,000 that we've spent this month. I'm going to just do a refresh so you can see all the numbers update. I feel like I'm selling this software or something, right? So it's just going to run a quick refresh, and I just refresh the active sheet. But once you have all your clients in here, you can do a refresh all sheets in the morning while you're drinking coffee, and it's just boom, all your numbers are updating, which is amazing. And so it's going to update all my numbers for the month. Hopefully, if everything goes right. So it's updating down here. It's probably going to update this one pretty soon. There we go. Boom. All updated. So it just updated everything for us. So now all these numbers are updated literally to the minute. So that's how quick you can pull stats for the month. And I usually do that before a meeting. I'll just refresh and then boom, it's all done for you. So I have these numbers in here. These are the things that anything in red is what I have to manually go in and update, and then the rest calculate. So you can calculate engagement rate, obviously, off of reach and engagement. Then you can calculate engagement rate and anything else there. Let me show you for social now how it applies. So in here, you essentially have, like, I would put client name or church name. On the right here, these are all the different things you can pull from.
Cool.
So all same platform. What you're going to want to pull for, so for Instagram, we used to use Instagram public data, but when Instagram Insights launched, it allows you to do more things like saves and all of that. And I believe as well as like stories data. So you'll just set this up. It'll ask you to log in, obviously through Facebook, and you're going to sync that up. As well as Facebook doing it the same way, but like you'll do Facebook Insights. And then you can set up YouTube down here. So those three. And then, so what I'd do is build out this template and put no queries in here. That's what one of these is a query. But say we wanted to say this right here was page likes for Instagram. We were going to just use, or we'll say Facebook page likes. We'd click on here by page. And then say we'd then put our Facebook page. So I don't have it in here, but basically once we do that, then you go to select dates, and then you would do year to date, and then you would do, and I'm starting from January, it's going to go all the way across. You do metrics, and we would do like, likes or, post shares or any of that. Or you could just say post for this one. And then you split by dimension. So you do it by columns. You do year, split to columns, and then you could put in any of this different data, but let me see right here, select dates.
So that's where you like breaking it down into the individual months.
Yep, exactly. So I can't find it here, but you'll be able to find it, and you just do month over month, click the button, and it all just populates. This is the way I'd recommend to set it up for you, or for you to set it up. And then that way you're able to see all the numbers at a high level every day in one place with all the same source of truth.
That's awesome. And so do you use anything kind of, once you've got this into this space, would you use anything as a secondary to pull this data into, I don't know, like
Data Studio or something, like visualization? Yeah.
Or just maybe just like to present it as
at the church I used to do it that way. We'd pull it into a spreadsheet. That was a long, ugly spreadsheet. And then I would pull it into Data Studio. And then from Data Studio is kind of where we would then look at the numbers. And then that way you can toggle through YouTube and all of that. And you can pull it all into client deck so they don't ever see this doc.
Got it. And so you were saying with Data Studio, it's a little bit more complex. Is that in terms of how to pull the data in, or what it looks like once
you know what I'll say is I never learned it, so it was complex to me. I just never learned that side. I learned this side of it. Cool. I think you take a weekend to learn it and build out a template in there. Then you can just report your numbers in here for your internal team, and then it populates the external team's docs.
Yeah.
So it's saved me hours. Like I said, you can see all clients here, and all these clients have one of these, and I'm able to just toggle through where everybody's at. And
like you say, the ability to kind of generate kind of email that out to people, automatically. So that's just a job that's taken care of.
Exactly, and I think it's worth $100 versus like I audited many accounts. Sprout Social was good. But we had Buffer for replying to comments because it threaded the comments, and then we used a different tool for posting and then a different tool for reporting. Yeah. So I just recommend this for reporting to everybody, and it solves a lot of your issues. And you could even pull website data from Google Analytics as well. So cool. Hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions or if you guys end up implementing it.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Really helpful.
Of course. Have a good rest of your day, Finn. Take care.
Speak soon. Bye.